the fall of 2020, amidst the global toilet paper shortage, a highly anticipated game descended from the heavens and took the world by storm. And that game is Genshin Impact, Breath of the Waifus, the best game in the world. Genshin Impact is a JRPG game about adventuring through breathtaking landscapes, making friends with various characters throughout the game, and most importantly, collecting beautiful waifus through an insane gacha system. However, if you've played or even heard about the game, you would know that in order to collect these magnificent waifus, you need Primogems, which can be obtained one of two ways. Either open your wallet and say goodbye to your bank account, or complete the daily commissions within the game every single day, and pray to Kami-sama that you'll have enough Primogems when the next waifu you really want gets released. On top of that, the fact that in order to build up your waifus, you'll need to spend your regenerated resin every single day. This turns the game into a sort of daily chore. Needless to say, I've been religiously playing Genshin Impact Breath of the Waifus every single day since launch. However, as the world has been opening up again, and traveling is once again becoming more and more commonplace, the risk of me missing a couple days of Genshin increases. This means I won't be able to do my dailies in game, and I'll be letting my waifus down. And I know what you're going to say. OBAKA, you're so stupid. miHoYo has thought of this problem and has made the game crossplay so you can just play the game on your phone. To which I would respond, yes, but no. See, I have iPhone 7 from 2017, which is essentially ancient in the phone world. So my phone can't really play the game, it's more like playing the game at the speed of a PowerPoint slideshow. So here's my idea to solve the problem. I'm going to build one of those nuclear football type computers you see in the movies. This way I could bring my gaming rig wherever I travel and be able to play Genshin Impact every day. I began by purchasing a Pelican case to serve as the housing for the portable gaming rig. I made sure to get one with wheels and is small enough to be a carry-on on planes. Then I made a trip to Micro Center for a CPU, motherboard, and M.2 SSD. I fished out a power supply and 3/6 of RAM from the abyss that is my closet, got a hand-me-down 770 from my older brother, and a large piece of ABS from my friend. With most of the parts needed, here's my plan to assemble the computer within the case. Let's start in this area here. First, I took apart this pull handle part of the Pelican case. On the outside of the bottom of the case, I drilled holes to fit these screws through, as well as this hole that will fit the external power socket. Within the case, the screws are secured with washers and this threaded hex spacer. Next, we'll move on to this part of the plan. I first cut out an ABS backplate that will hold all the computer parts on, then attach motherboard risers to that backplate. Holes were drilled into the backplate to allow it to be secured to the spacers, and these threaded rods are installed to mount the graphics card over the motherboard. Since everyone loves RGBs, I installed an RGB LED strip for some ambient lighting within the computer. To make sure it works, I tested the RGBs with a portable battery. Next, I'll assemble the computer on top of the backplate. I began with securing this power supply. To secure it to the backplate, I took apart the power supply to drill 4 holes. The 4 holes allows me to screw the power supply onto the motherboard risers on the backplate. Next is to install the motherboard. After installing the RAM, I secured the motherboard onto the risers on the backplate. Next, I shoved all these wires into this hole. To secure the GPU, I cut out this plate from a scrap piece of ABS. My friend helped me print out some brackets to hold the GPU to the ABS plate. The bracket lets me slide the GPU into place and secure it to the ABS plate with a single screw. The last thing that I needed to do was to plug everything in. Now to just drop the computer in and have the backplate rest on top of the spacers, and then secured it down with screws. Next, I installed the power socket to the outside of the Pelican case. On the inside, the power socket is connected directly to the power supply. Then I installed the GPU. The threaded rods and backplate allows it to float over the motherboard. I installed these plastic tubes as spacers to hold the GPU and its panel at the correct height. The GPU panel is then secured down with nuts. Now that I have the computer secured in the case, I'm about 69% done. Next, we need to work on installing a screen within the case. To do this, I cut out another ABS panel to hold the monitor inside the cover of the Pelican case. The monitor is then secured to this panel from the back side using its facing mount. Then the panel is secured to the Pelican case with screws from the front side. Now to wire everything up, and let's test run. Please boot, please boot, please boot. Yes. Cool. Now I need to make the top plate to cover and protect the computer parts. I'll start by measuring the dimensions of the interior of the Pelican case. Wait, how do you measure an interior radius? I can't math, so I just gotta find a couple round objects that might match. Nope. Nope. No. Definitely not. Oh, I have an idea. This one seems to fit the best, so I'm just going to go with the radius of this one. After I had the dimensions drawn on paper, I cut it out in foam board just to check that it would fit inside the Pelican case. Now that we know it fits, it's time to 3D model it. Everything looks good, so I sent the file off to a company that can cut it out in acrylic. After 18 days, the top plate is here, so let's open it up. As you can see, the acrylic top plate looks amazing. I had these hexagon holes cut out so the computer could exhaust its heat upwards and outwards. To secure it to the Pelican case, I'll need to use these feet made by Pelican. Next is to install this I/O panel. I went back to SOLIDWORKS and 3D modeled 2 brackets to hold the panel to the top plate. After a couple hours on the 3D printer, we have 2 perfectly sized brackets. I then secured the brackets to the I/O panel and the brackets to the top plate. And all that's left is to secure the top plate to the Pelican case. Everything looks good, so let's fire it up. And there we go, a nuclear football type computer that lets you play Genshin here, 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 and even here. Last but not least, some final touches. Time to put it to use. I could have just played Genshin on the laptop.